It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Say hello to the folks.
Hey, hello to the folks.
Hey, Shaquille O'Neal is here. Say hey to the folks.
Hey, what up, folks?
The NBA's really rolling along at this point. Tonight, it's the Orlando Magic as they'll be playing against the Atlanta Hawks. Well, for Atlanta, the first half of the season has not been kind to them, and unfortunately, with their play lately, they're not exactly giving off the vibe that they're ready to turn things around. And the Orlando Magic tried to make a push for the playoffs last season. They brought in some veteran talent to try and move the needle. Needless to say, guys, didn't quite work.
Ernie, this is where I live. I hate to really say something bad about this team because it's a team that drafted me, but the makeup of the roster, Ernie, was a big problem. Too many front court players, not enough guys on the wing.
Not enough. Oh, too many front court.
Too many.
I didn't think you'd ever say that.
Yeah, way too many.
Well, I think because of the game changing a little bit, you can have front court players.
Everybody want to go small ball. Everybody want to play small ball.
They just got to defend the three-point. They don't have to shoot it. Just defend it.
Why all the bitterness about small ball?
Because I live in Orlando.
No, but why all the bitterness about small ball? Just because you're a big guy?
It's an Eastern Conference matchup as the Atlanta Hawks come into town in this game. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. Thrilled to be back in Orlando, the Magic ready for that home court advantage. And of course, Elfrid Payton. Without his presence, they'll have to overcome the hole there.
And as shocked as people are that they would trade away a player of his caliber, they didn't just let him go for nothing. I mean, they got a lot in return. I think it's a deal that's going to really help them down the road.
And as we've got a few moments here before the tip, let's go to David Aldridge, who was able to speak with Mike Budenholzer. Dave, what'd you find out?
Well, guys, he told me they're up against a team that really finishes strong at the rim, and he wanted to get that point across to his players. He wants them to protect the rim with every bit of energy they've got throughout this entire contest. Let's see if they're up to it, Kevin.
Thanks, David. We have two teams that love to score out of the post, but they need enough space, Brent, to do it. What's the strategy here?
Well, sometimes it's not just about the space, Kevin, but it's about the timing of the cuts. When a guy has a post-up opportunity, if the defense is looking at that post-up player, if you move at the right time, you can really create some incredible space for that guy, not only to score, but to sometimes find cutters who sneak behind the eyes of the defense.
And it's the Hawks to start out. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the court right now for the Hawks. Schroeder and Bazemore are in the backcourt. Collins is out there with Prince, and it's Dedmon in at the five. And Vucevic throws it down.
Always tough to work the closer you get to the basket. Nice job of finding an angle on the pass there.
Prince kicks it over to Schroeder. No good from outside. Atlanta on D, coming off that loss against the Nets.
And despite the outcome, I think they'll feel a little better about that game. There are a lot of positives that they can take away from that performance.
No doubt some bright spots, more than you'd expect out of a loss like that, but it doesn't make the result any easier to take.
And Aaron Gordon, the athletic Aaron Gordon, playing much of last season at the small forward position during Serge Ibaka's short-lived stint in Orlando.
Yeah, and while he was excited to stretch his skill set, pretty clear it was a bad fit, especially in today's NBA. Gordon is a power forward, period. The Magic invested the fourth pick on him in that 14 draft, and they have to give him minutes at his natural position as his game continues to evolve.
First one falls for him. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
And since Dwight Howard back in 2012, the rebuild effort just has languished here in Orlando, unable really to draft any superstar talent. And last season, trades for veteran talent didn't really move the needle either.
Now here's Schroeder. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn. Tries yet again. That doesn't go either for Schroeder. And Greg, when you look at the Magic, do you see a plan or a roadmap here?
Well, you look at that trade for Serge Ibaka going into last season, and that was probably a sign that ownership was growing impatient. They wanted to cash in their chips and really go for it. And now they might need a rebuild from that rebuild.
You're right. Here's Vucevic. And no good that time. And Atlanta will come the other way. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Orlando.
And two teams at vastly different ends of the standings last year, but they played each other to a draw.
Bazemore with it. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
Ball movement was critical in this game. It did not stick with any one player, so his passing was on point, and he really picked apart the defense.
And the slam dunk by Bazemore.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
Now here is Augustine. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Charlotte. It's tipped. Augustine against Schroeder. Vucevic with the block. Here's Ross. The shot off that time. Prince with the defensive effort. Another shot. And Vucevic pulls it down. The Magic have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Fournier with the ball. Now guarded by Schroeder. The shot's good from Fournier.
And so many defenses nowadays really not designed to take away that mid-range jumper.
And I'm loving the recognition, right? He simply takes what the defense allows. That's a smart move.
Now here's Bazemore. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game.
And Bazemore looking pretty comfortable on the inside there, weaving around for that too.
Here's Augustine after the basket by Atlanta. He dishes it to Fournier. Feeds it to Vucevic. Baseline J on the way. Good. Vucevic has got his second basket of the game. The Hawks trail it. Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. Pass to Bazemore. They set the pick. They get it back.
Now this is a quarter that he would love to forget as soon as possible. Not getting anything to go.
Prince, the pass to Dedmon. They shoot again, and he lays it up and in.
Dedmon using his length that time on the offensive end.
Augustine dishes to Fournier. Again, the Magic score. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
Now here's Bazemore. He's covered closely. Shot clock at 6. Fires the 3. It's hauled in by the Magic. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, guys, they were forcing it a bit in that one and shot a relatively low percentage because of it.
Well, if I put it on the scale, Greg, the aggressiveness was an 8. The shot selection, a 2. Could have been a lot better.
And it's Vucevic missing.
Wonderful defense, staying active around the rim and then really putting the shooter in a tough spot.
And Bazemore kicks it over to Schroeder. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
You know, not a good start for him offensively, just 2 of 8 from the field, but his confidence has not waned.
And Dennis Schroeder, a full-time starter for the first time just last season, upped his scoring average to around 18 points a game, but they really turned the keys over to what it was that they were going to do behind Dennis Schroeder and his ability. At the same time, it was the best shooting percentages he had in his very young career.
And Schroeder can score. He also averaged about 6 assists a game last season.
Well, the balance between scoring and passing in the first season as Schroeder being a first-time starter for his ball club is something that he needs to work on. That tends to point, Kevin, towards leadership, and the Hawks would like to see more of that.
Man, that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
Atlanta's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Prince outside. Here's the screen. Goes up at the stripe. It's hauled in by Gordon.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Gordon a screen. Over Collins. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
It's Prince on the wing. Elbow shot is on the way. And he gets the jumper to drop. Prince has got his first points of the night.
And another momentum shift. These teams going back and forth all night.
Yeah, which team's going to find some consistency first? Neither one can pull away.
Now here's Vucevic. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
Felt like he also was prepared for whatever the opposition was coming at him with. He was either contesting shots or swatting them away. Just a dominant defensive performance all the way around.
The Magic have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And he knocks down the first one. We've seen the shift in offensive strategy. Brent, more threes, more spacing, better flow, opening up driving lanes and opportunities to make at least one quick move to the basket. What have defenses been doing on the other side trying to counteract those trends?
I think the biggest trend that you see, Kevin, is the switching defenses. So many rosters now constructed of guys who have the ability to get off of the screen and to pick up a perimeter player. And that's not for 24 seconds, but 5 or 6 seconds being able to contain dribble penetration and challenge deep threes. So the switching aspect of NBA defense, that is a trend.
Here's Delaney. Orlando grabs the miss.
I'd just like to see the defensive effort get better for their ball club. They can't expect guys to miss the mid-range Jays every time.
And that one's good. Simmons.
Commending the unselfish play there. What vision on that pass.
Atlanta's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Taylor passes to Muscala. Back to Taylor. Here's the floater. Ilyasova lays it up and banks it in. Ilyasova's got the game tied up here for Atlanta.
It's nice to see the confidence he shows on his inside game and ability to get the shot up before the defender can do anything.
Mack dishes to Spates. Back to Mack for the three. The shot misses. So Atlanta will take it the other way. Here's Bembry. Guarded by Simmons. It's stolen by Mack. Here's Fournier. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
I tell you, Isaac has great vision for a big man. Can see over defenders easily thanks to that size.
Atlanta shooting just 35% to start the game. Here's Bembry. Guarded by Simmons. Shot off the pick. Rebounded by Isaac.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
Bembry shot good.
And at full speed, he still has the wherewithal to get himself in good position.
Yeah, the snap decisions right there, reading the situation on the move and then making the right choice.
And it's the Magic with the ball, following the bucket by the Hawks.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Taylor kicks to Muscala. There's a good screen. Here's Bembry. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Spates with the block.
Not known as a shot blocker, but the effort from Spates got him in the right spot, and he affected the shot.
Mack, the pass to Fournier. Spates sets a screen for Simmons. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for Atlanta.
And really, there's just such a lack of scoring for them from out at the top of the arc in terms of three-point range. And in today's game, you have to get scoring from the three-point range. And that area out above the free throw line extended is a real weak spot for them so far.
That's good from Simmons. And Brent, for the Hawks, you go back to the summer of 2016. How big was it for them losing their all-star, Al Horford?
Well, the rumor is there wasn't too much of a financial difference between what the Hawks were offering and what the Celtics ended up giving Al Horford. And they wanted to have him back and maybe trade Paul Millsap for assets. That all did not happen, and it gutted the team a little bit because of Horford's versatility. You could see that reflected in some of the offensive numbers from the Hawks last year.
Greg, it's been a long rebuild for the Magic, but they really feel they've got a plan in place.
Well, you've heard the front office talking that they're going to win at least one championship by the year 2030. And I got to say, that's an interesting quote, to say the least. I mean, I have heard of a 5-year plan, but a 13-year plan, I guess you'd call that building for the long term.
And that one drops. 1:58 left here in the opening quarter. Taylor kicks to Muscala. The Hawks working the ball around. They set the screen. Here's Delaney. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Just 4 to shoot. From deep three-point range, that shot no good. And Orlando will come the other way. There's 1:26 left to play in the first quarter. Dishes it to Spates. Here's Mack. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And the Hawks in the last couple seasons with some roster turnover, established veterans departing, and now with Millsap leaving, they have embraced a complete rebuild.
Free throw good, Mack. And the Hawks traded Howard and lost Paul Millsap in short time. So the rebuild, it would appear, is on for Atlanta.
Yeah, and it seems like they feel good with how they've approached it. You know, you got to commit to turning things over and starting anew. And the Hawks have taken the first steps to building towards the future.
And Mack drops them both.
And they've been the more physical team offensively, seeking contact, looking to score in the lane, and getting to the line.
Here's Ilyasova. Here's Muscala. That one's no good. That makes him 1 for 2.
Oh, and the D did not make that any easier. Can't fault the shooter for missing. That's a tough shot.
Here's Isaac, defended by Ilyasova. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. Let's use this break to look at the teams that over the past month have been tremendous at converting turnovers into points. The Hawks second.
And you always like to see aggressive defense. And then when you can convert mistakes into points offensively, that's a big key.
And there's a follow. That's good on the assist from Shelvin Mack. Aflalo's got his first bucket in this one. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Even before the ball gets to him, you can see Ilyasova start to position himself, gets his feet set, a good foundation to let it fly.
Now here's Aflalo. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. The 11-footer. It's rebounded by Ilyasova. The Hawks trail by 5. Here's Delaney. Last time 14 points for him. Ilyasova a screen. Shoots off the screen, and the shot falls short this time.
You can see how clued in the defense is to take away those mid-range shots and challenge. Solid at getting a hand up in the face of the scorers.
And so the first quarter is in the books. It's the Magic up 5. 2K Sports back in a moment from the Amway Center. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And what do you guys think about the Magic here so far in this one?
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
And if you're rotating like that, it's got to be a great line of communication between all 5 guys. You see that reflected on the scores, all that trust showing up with the lead.
Magic leading by 5. On the court for Atlanta, they got Taylor. Ilyasova out there with Mike Muscala. And it's Delaney in at the 2 spot. Spates inside. He's covered by Muscala. No good from Spates. Here's Delaney. Out to Taylor. Orlando grabs the miss. Isaac's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Simmons left side. Out left to the wing. Spates down low. He's covered by Muscala. And Spates gets it to go.
This is some of what Spates gives you, not just a stretch guy, but a guy who can invite some contact on the inside and play right through it.
And Ersan Ilyasova out of Turkey, the 36th pick back in 2005.
He's carved out a long and nice career as a spread 4 in this league. Has played for many teams, but has not played in many different ways. He's a good shooter and a good rebounder and keeps getting chances in the NBA.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. We've heard the rumors, Brent, the death of the big man, but with guys like Towns and Porzingis and others entering the league that can play on the perimeter and still have that length to make a difference inside, could we see a big man renaissance, or at least maybe see him have more of an impact than people are giving him credit for right now?
Well, I think what we're seeing is the evolution of the 5 spot, Kevin. So it's not that the big man is lost. It's that the big man's doing a lot of the things that the little man used to be asked to do, and that is shooting threes, handle the ball, make some decisions at the top of the key, be a playmaker. It's fascinating to watch guys with this sort of size and this sort of skill, and also being this young, having such a tremendous impact for the organizations they're playing for.
Taylor dishes to Ilyasova. Puts up a 3, but they'll get another chance. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Passes it to Delaney. And there's the feed to Taylor. They set the pick. The pass to Bembry. Ilyasova a screen. Taylor inside. He's covered by Mack. The shot by Taylor, no good.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
And the shot goes in.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought without any individual agenda.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, the Orlando Magic do have a stacked front court. They've got plenty of size. Head coach Frank Vogel said, in today's small ball NBA, we think we can beat the heck out of teams in the paint. But shooting has been a hindrance, and he conceded we might have to win some games, 68-65. Kevin?
Going against the grain, DA. Thank you.
One of the better shots in his arsenal. Someone has to rotate.
Pass to Isaac. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
How about the concentration on that? Isaac able to absorb the contact and still finish with a difficult shot.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
An 85% mark from the line. There aren't too many players in the league who are going to sport a much better percentage.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Vucevic, he's checked in for Spates. Aaron Gordon comes in for Jonathan Simmons, and DJ Augustine subbed in for Shelvin Mack. That's good from Isaac.
And Jonathan Isaac, a 6'11" small forward out of Florida State. You know, we're seeing more and more players like this with the length of a center and the guard skills. You know, you think of KD, of Brandon Ingram, and now Isaac.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game. And the story for Jonathan Isaac, as a sophomore in high school, Greg, he stood 6'3" and played guard. He hit a growth spurt, as you can see.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. I think what I notice most is that he's retained not just the perimeter skill, but also the fluidity. I mean, he's light on his feet and really moves well. Remember, there was another guy that was a point guard and had a nice growth spurt. I think his name was Anthony Davis.
Outside Gordon. On the wing of Flalo. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Well, Flalo's got the lead up to 12 now for Orlando. Here's Schroeder. He's got 5. Missed that one. Still looking for his shot. Just 2 for 9. Flalo the pass to Ross. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Here's Prince. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Commending the unselfish play there. What vision on that pass.
Orlando leading by 13. And Augustine kicks to Vucevic. Now here's Ross. D right on him. And Vucevic throws it down.
I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. For Atlanta, they've gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Collins, a screen on a Flalo. Here's Schroeder. That doesn't go either for Schroeder.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right.
And for the Magic, it's really been a musical chairs with their coaches. A lot of churning on the roster, but the pieces still have yet to gel. And honestly, it's been a mess.
For Orlando, they have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well.
And when you got a team percentage of about 81%, you're going to be one of the elites in this league.
First free throw is good. And if you're running the Magic, Greg, what's the roadmap to contention?
Well, first and foremost, it's always going to have to start through the draft. I mean, you've got to be able to get core pieces there. And then you want to continue to add perimeter shooting and focus on developing your young talent based on the way the game is played today.
And so Aaron Aflalo nails both of them. Brent, you were known for your leaping ability. You won a dunk contest. We all remember it very vividly. During the pre-draft process, did they measure your max vertical?
They did, Kevin. At the Chicago pre-draft camp, you run through a series of tests there. Your conditioning, how your CO2 gets kicked out. They put this mask on you and check your stamina. There's a bunch of doctors in there poking and prodding. I won't go into detail about that.
Thank you.
But they did measure the max vertical during that Chicago pre-draft, and it was about 39-inch vertical leap, so not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy play right there. You're hoping that the guy misses the shot without really doing your job in challenging it.
Clearly a foul.
And Brent, for the Hawks, a new $50 million practice facility. In 2019, their G League team begins playing in College Park.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome that we're almost to every team having a G League affiliated roster that they can work with throughout the course of the season. So the Hawks became the 16th team to snatch up a G League operation, and I think that Mike Budenholzer and their organization will use that well, as they'll want player development coming out of College Park.
The first one falls.
Well, from the D League to dominating defensively, Dwayne Dedmon hustling around.
And so he hits both. And Coach Mike Budenholzer, a product of the San Antonio coaching tree, learned a lot in his decade plus as a lead assistant under Greg Popovich.
Well, I think one key for Mike Budenholzer is that he understands that the importance of the assistant coaching staff can really elevate the level of play for the basketball team, and that each of those coaches has an open door policy. You can walk in, you can have a conversation, you can gripe a little bit, and then try to build on something so that the team ends up better off because of those open lines of communication.
They set the screen. Collins, a screen on Augustine. Schroeder kicks to Collins. The Hawks again can't hit. Magic leading by 19 points. Oh, Vucevic in position, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aflalo.
And let's check out the stats for Ross. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's averaging 15 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
His instincts naturally are to score the basketball. That ability to find the creases in the defense is something you just don't teach, and it's awesome.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
Yeah, you know, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Well, coming out of the timeout, let's see if they go for the outside shot or if they look to go inside, try to build some confidence by seeing that ball go in.
And a look here at the shot chart for the Hawks.
And it's been bad news for them in the mid-range game so far. The looks they've been getting aren't the worst in the world, but every shot seems to find a way to rim out, and it's cost them in a major way. Some more ball movement and looking at attacking the basket might be the best way for them to shake things up.
Schroeder kicks to Collins. Pass to Bazemore. He feeds it to Prince. Over Gordon. They get it again. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Now, Dedmon likes to play physical. He brings it to the game every night.
For Atlanta, they have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
Two shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
He doesn't get the second one.
And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
Prince in the corner. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And he is a cool customer at the line, guys. You've got to be when you're shooting 84% on the season.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Prince. And he makes both free throws. Orlando leading by 16. And here's Augustine. He's usually able to provide some lift to his team, averaging 6 points a game. Picked by Vucevic. Ross dishes to Vucevic. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Ross. Over Prince. That one wide left. The Hawks trail by 16. Bazemore on the wing. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it.
There he is, the product out of Kelford, North Carolina. Kent Bazemore has come a very long way during his short time in the NBA. Speaking of Kelford, that's got to be one of those places where everybody knows who you are. And Bazemore has that easygoing vibe when you get a chance to meet him.
Here's Vucevic. Rebound by the Hawks. Dedmon's got 5 rebounds tonight. There's the pick. Here's Schroeder. It doesn't go for him. And Orlando the other way now. And hard scrabble beginnings for Bazemore. Winners without heat. His mom worked 3 jobs to support the family. But what a success story for Kent Bazemore.
Yeah, an incredible story. You can see the work ethic that Kent Bazemore has and how those things have paid off for him. This is a guy who went undrafted, waited for an opportunity, and then pounced on it. The thing is with Kent Bazemore now, are you the type of player who wants to spend the money that you've earned, or do you want to earn the money that you've been given?
Dedmon's shot is off.
Ooh, the D did just enough to keep him from scoring. Thought that was in for sure.
Fournier. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
And Evan Fournier out of France, an instinctive offensive player, Greg.
Yeah, favorite player growing up was Manu Ginobili, and you can see some similarities in their games. Fournier possesses long-range shooting, but also able to handle and put pressure on the D with the dribble.
And that one falls for Fournier. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And the Hawks known for their equal opportunity drive and kick offensive style. But Greg, their three-point shooting percentage has cratered the last few seasons.
Yeah, and the way the league is going, that's something they'll have to fix. The free throw line, also an issue for this group. It's clear they're in search of more shooting. And they keep hammering away at them inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Augustine passes to Gordon. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, so much great defense has come from the shooting guard position over the years. And here's a rundown of the players wreaking havoc at that spot this year. You take a look at Bazemore, always dangerous on the court. He leads the league.
You know, you watch him on a game-in, game-out basis, and he just puts on a clinic defensively, both in terms of effort and technique at that off-guard spot.
He's so proud of holding the #1 spot because he takes pride in that. Being regarded as one of the NBA's stingiest perimeter defenders means more to him than anything he does on the offensive end.
The first free throw is good. And Gordon drops them both. Atlanta calls timeout.
And here's a look at the stats for Dennis Schroeder. He's been a factor for them over the last month. 12th in scoring, and he's in the top 20 in assists per game. His talent for creating easy buckets for his teammates, such an asset.
And yeah, one of the most dangerous scorers in the game. He's already come up big in some key games this year. His teammates really feed off his presence, I think. Good ball movement here by the Magic. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Ross. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east. Already we are in December. You look at Orlando. They're still struggling, trying to string something together, getting a lot of wins. The competition, though, so tough. And, of course, the Hawks, a game behind.
And right now for the Magic, they weren't part of the discussion of teams on the rise as we came into the year. And now, quite frankly, we know why. If anything, they've taken a step back.
There's still some chances to find some positives as the season comes to an end. Even if it's not a playoff spot, just some kind of forward momentum heading into the offseason.
It's tipped. Gordon kicks to Augustine. A floater. He takes it up and lays it in. Augustine's got 4 points this quarter.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
Here's the screen. The drive by Schroeder. The shot, no good.
Look, if they want any shot at winning this game, he has to be better out there.
Ross dishes to Augustine. Back to Ross. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
That free throw good from Ross for the Magic. Isaac's checked in for Gordon. Simmons comes in for Evan Fournier. And Max subbed in for Augustine. So he gets them both. And the Hawks with possession here. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
High arcing shot, and the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
And have not had as much success in the paint this quarter. Everything has been from the perimeter.
The Hawks have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight.
One shot, gentlemen.
Orlando leading by 19. Mack, the pass to Ross. He kicks it to Simmons. There's the dish to Spates. From down low, Mack, no luck. Hawks shooting a measly 26% in the second quarter. Here's Delaney. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him. Here's Ross. Kicks to Mack. Spates sets a screen. It's deflected. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Hawks. .122 left in the second quarter. Taylor kicks to Bembry. There's the screen. Score of the basket is third after 5 shots.
Well, after a tough first quarter, it didn't get to him in any way. He's really stepped up here in the second quarter.
There's 53 seconds left to play here in the half. Spates dishes to Mack. 6 on the shot clock. Out of bounds. Atlanta will take possession. There's 42 seconds left now here in the second. Taylor passes to Delaney. Passes it to Bembry. Ilyasova is screen on Ross. Bembry kicks to Ilyasova. Offline with his 3. Orlando leading by 17. And Maurice Spates the bucket on the assist from Mack. Mack's got 3 assists now in this one. Now Taylor still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. A 3 ball. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And so it's the Orlando Magic with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Aaron Gordon. Aaron, you guys came out and played extremely well. What was the mindset in the first half?
We just tried to come out here, really stick to our principles, pick up the pace, and really be aggressive, and it turned out in a high-scoring half.
Just the way you want to play. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
The
Show.
first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. They got their lead up to as many as 8 points in the opening period. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
well, the bench came in and helped them run away with this one. Tremendous job of getting loose, getting open, and drilling shots. You always want that spark off the bench, and these guys delivered.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Hawks.
They relied way too heavily on three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off. But they still settle for the outside shots. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
That's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Nice game. Great performance by Evan Fournier.
Yeah, good things happen when you maintain composure. Their shot selection has been extremely disciplined.
Hey, Greg, is there a shot that he's taken that has been out of the flow of the offense? I don't think so.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know anything can happen. Augustine and Fournier are in the backcourt. Ross is the 3 with Gordon at the 4. And it's Vucevic in at the 5 down low. That's the group starting the second half for Frank Vogel. The offensive rebound. Shots good by Dedmon.
Dedmon using his size on the inside, and the defense trying to do their best to keep him away from the basket. Not that time.
And Augustine kicks to Ross. He's looking for Gordon and finds him. And then Gordon with the dunk.
That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
The Hawks trail by 19. Schroeder dishes to Collins. The Hawks working the ball around. Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. It's stolen by Vucevic. Gordon against Collins. And it's Gordon missing.
And you look at the post-up bangers who don't block shots at a high level. More and more we're seeing teams relegate them to that 6-man role off the bench. It'll be interesting to see how that affects a guy like Vucevic who fits that description.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Collins, a screen on Augustine. Jumper off the screen. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Aaron Gordon. Greg, why is it, do you think, that teams want those more floor-bound, post-up big men like Vucevic coming off the bench?
I think two things. First of all, their defensive shortcomings are less exposed playing against other reserves. Also, their ability to create offense on the block has more value with that second unit because that group tends to have their struggles in terms of scoring the basketball.
That free throw missing. And he sinks the second. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Augustine against Schroeder. Augustine passes to Ross. Fournier in the corner. Now here's Vucevic. Guarded closely. 4 on the clock. And there's the rebound by Dedmon. The Hawks trail by 18. Bazemore with it. He's got 6. And it's Schroeder missing.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easy ones.
It's good.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Feeds to Collins. Collins a screen on Ross. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession.
The numbers now for Nikola Vucevic. The last 10 games, he has been on a heck of a run. 3rd in blocks. And he's an elite glass eater, a factor inside among the top 10 in rebounds per game.
And you aren't top 3 in blocks unless you're committed to dominating in that category. His awareness and hustle is off the charts. Very impressive. For 3, Fournier, offensive rebound. Back to Vucevic. Can't hit the free throw line jumper.
Yeah, tonight his shot's been a bit off, but still, they lead the game.
Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Bazemore's got 9.
Well, once Bazemore gets the ball off the pass, he immediately skies up for the jump shot and nails it. You like to see that kind of assertive, aggressive, confident attitude.
Dishes to Fournier. Back to Vucevic. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Bounces high off the rim and drops. 8 points for him.
You're not going to see him miss too many from there. Just a handful to defend.
Atlanta calls timeout.
Yeah, you know, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Well, coming out of the timeout, let's see if they go for the outside shot or if they look to go inside, try to build some confidence by seeing that ball go in.
Aaron Aflalo, he's checked in for Ross. And a chance here to take a look at the shooting chart for Schroeder.
And these sorts of nights can happen. I mean, an extremely rough outing from him in terms of his efficiency. And at this point, the only thing you can hope for is to try to get into some sort of rhythm. Get a couple in a row, try to get to the free throw line, and build some confidence.
Here's Collins. Doesn't go for him. Gordon with the defensive effort. Orlando leading by 19 points. And the foul on Kent Bazemore.
Side out.
And that'll be his third foul so far.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Aflalo goes in. Count that bucket. Aflalo's got 8.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Bazemore dishes to Prince. Schroeder outside. There's the pick. Pulls up on the wing. Here's Dedmon, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 11 rebounds. Augustine passes to Fournier. Gordon kicks to Augustine. He dishes it to Vucevic. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Aflalo against Prince. Excellent D there from Aflalo.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Fournier's shot is off. The Hawks trail by 19. Schroeder outside. To the middle. Collins kicks to Prince. They set the screen. Clock at 6. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on Aaron Aflalo. The Hawks have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far. And that one falls for Prince. And both free throws good for Prince. Magic leading by 17. Now here is Augustine. At the elbow, Vucevic. Back to Augustine. Up and in on the layup. Augustine's got 6.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Nobody near Schroeder. Hits the three-point bomb.
Now there's some confidence there from Dennis Schroeder, showing great improvement behind the arc.
Picked by Vucevic. Here's Fournier. Dedmon with the block. They retain possession. Here's Prince. He's got 8. Out to the wing. Schroeder against Augustine. And it's Schroeder missing. And Dennis Schroeder gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Orlando making some changes. Isaacs checked in for Aaron Gordon. Simmons comes in for Evan Fournier. And Shelvin Max subbed in for Augustine. And then for Atlanta, Ilyasova, he's checked in for Collins. And it's Malcolm Delaney in for Kent Bazemore. And Mack kicks to Vucevic. Now here's Mack. He's guarded by Schroeder. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Vucevic. And Orlando making a change here. Spates is checked in. Then for the Hawks, Bembry's checked in for Taurean Prince. And Taylor subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. The Hawks trail by 16. To the wing on the left. And here's Ilyasova outside. And it's Orlando with the rebound. 22 is their biggest lead. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Mack dishes to Simmons. Back to Mack. Spates sets a screen. Just 5 to shoot. The Magic need to get a shot off here. Another miss by Orlando. Atlanta's gone into the 3-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. There's the pass to Taylor. Atlanta again missing. The Magic leading by 16. Here's Simmons. Bembry with the rebound.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Down low, there's the feed to Spates. Now here's Simmons. Defense is right there. That one falls. Simmons got 10 points in the game.
Yeah, it's not so much just the made shots, it's the consistency of the made shots that's got his team the lead.
Here's Taylor. And the shot is long.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories. Oh, and he likes the mid-range, Jay. You have to get right up on him if you want to stop it.
Pass to Ilyasova. Ilyasova a screen. Taylor kicks to Delaney. There's a screen. The high post shot. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Delaney's got his second basket of the game.
Teammates love Dedmon because of his willingness to give up his body on screen plays like that.
Here's Isaac, defended by Ilyasova. No good from Spates. The Hawks trail by 18. And Maurice Spates, the stretch big man, has always had a good mid-range shot, Brent, but when he was with the Warriors, you may recall, he was able to expand his range out to 3.
Well, there's something that goes along with winning, and I think that's a tremendous amount of confidence. So after Maurice Spates got the championship ring, I think he brings some of that leadership and locker room mentality that you need on a winning team.
And the Hawks making a change here. Muscala's checked in. Orlando leading by 18. Spates sets a screen. Mack the pass to Spates. Spates missing again. Atlanta's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from 3-point land in the second half. Here's Bembry, guarded by Simmons. Shot by Taylor, no good.
Yeah, this has been a night where you could look at his shooting and his performance, and it's affected the team. That's the bottom line.
Well, some of the big men in the league didn't mind drifting out and letting it fly from deep. Here are the best 3-point shooters, centers, and power forwards. Ilyasova third.
And the value of having a big man who can do what these guys can is that they draw bigger defenders out of the paint. You have to stay with them wherever they go.
Yep, and once you do that, you're going to open up the lane. And with the threat those guys pose on the perimeter, an opposing defense has no way to deal with that.
The first one falls. And a Flalo drops them both. The Hawks trail by 20. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Taylor kicks to Bembry. Back to Taylor. He feeds it to Ilyasova. Here's Bembry. Misses off the right iron. Orlando leading by 20. No good from Simmons.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time he chose wisely.
And Orlando making a change here. Ross is checked in. The Hawks shooting a pretty wretched 28% in the third quarter. This offense needs to maybe try some different angles. And Muscala kicks to Taylor. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Ilyasova dishes to Muscala. Ilyasova a screen. Here's Bembry. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Here's Simmons. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
Ilyasova a screen. Here's Bembry. Rebound by the Magic. Isaac's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
The shot by Spates. Nobody around. Good, and the nice assist from Mack. Mack's got 4 assists in the game. Taylor passes to Muscala. And stolen by Simmons. Jumps up, and Simmons slams it in.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
It seems like they've been at it on both ends tonight. Tremendous all-around play from them. Has them up quite a bit here.
Taylor kicks to Muscala. There's the pick to stop the run. It's deflected.
And that long wingspan of Isaac aids him there in turning away shots, but it's also the timing he displays when he attacks the shooter.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
To the left wing. From deep. Rebound by Muscala. Muscala's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And so it's the Orlando Magic rolling along with a 27-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this. And meanwhile, Frank Vogel talking to his team.
Our closer is our tempo, intelligent tempo. Let's still run. 1, 2, 3.
And that's Frank Vogel asking his guys to dictate the pace and ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, he wants them to push the action, but just be smart about how they do it. Aggressive, yes. Careless, no.
And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. On the court for Atlanta, Muscala and Plumlee the bigs. And it's Taylor in at the point. Brent, for the NBA, it's been a very prosperous time over the last couple decades. What do you think has been the key factor or factors in the growth and the popularity of the game?
Kevin, I think the game speaks for itself and always will. The NBA, to me, is the greatest game that we get a chance to watch. Athleticism and poetry in motion. But one of the things at its foundation and core that I've loved is that the guys that are carrying the mantle for the league right now are likable. And there's nothing that beats likability.
And they appreciate, Brent, I think they appreciate the people that were before them very much.
I think they not only appreciate what's gone before them, Kevin, they're in the moment now, and they appreciate what's going on with their careers in their moment.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yeah, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
And Biombo has it in the corner. Mack dishes to Biombo. Over Muscala. Biombo, no luck. Hawks have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Dorsey passes to Muscala. Taylor kicks to Plumlee. Takes it from 10. The rebound by Hazanya. Orlando's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Mack. He makes the Johnny from the left block.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
The three sinks the three-pointer.
You just can't allow good looks like that from beyond the arc. That's just inviting all kinds of trouble.
The Magic have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. To the right side. Now here's Spates. He's covered by Muscala. And Spates gets it to go.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And Dorsey kicks to Taylor. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Orlando, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Mack dishes to Biombo. We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. And Brent, every year on average, it seems like players get a little taller, they can jump a little higher, they run a little faster. What are your thoughts about raising the rim above 10 feet where it stands now?
That's a great question, Kevin. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But
you had I can see you shaking your head and you kind of laughed at it.
Yeah, I just can't see it happening.
The game is hard enough as it is right now, right? Is that what you're saying?
It is. I like your idea about making the court a little bit bigger, but 10 feet seems to be a pretty good number for where that tin sits.
About right, huh? So a new group on the floor for Orlando. Orlando leading by 23. And here's Augustine. Shot off the pick. And that one hits back iron. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Ross against Prince. Off the screen. Again, the Hawks score.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy play right there. You're hoping that the guy misses the shot without really doing your job in challenging it.
And Fournier kicks to Vucevic. Pass to Ross. And the jam by Ross.
Ooh, just powered it down with both hands. You know he's not going to mess that one up.
Oh, no, not this fella. He is a superb finisher. Schroeder passes to Dedmon. The drive by Schroeder. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
And even though Schroeder might be on the light end of things when it comes to his weight, he remains relentless driving towards the basket.
The dish to Fournier. Shot by Gordon, wide open. That 3 off the mark. And it's the Hawks ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Schroeder kicks to Collins. Now here's Bazemore. He's guarded closely.
I love how Bazemore just takes it to the defense on the drive and finishes that one easily. Shows no mercy when the ball's in his hands.
Augustine dishes to Ross. He kicks it to Gordon. The 11-footer. Collins grabs the miss. Collins has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Bazemore misses.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And Fournier kicks to Gordon. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Prince has got the ball. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
Nice decision making by Schroeder there with a terrific assist.
Kick by Vucevic, and Augustine kicks to Ross. To the inside, Vucevic, foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a three-point play chance.
You know, we talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
The free throw drops for Vucevic. NBA official, NBA referee, Brent, has to be one of the toughest jobs in the world. There's been a lot of talk about adding an official to the court. Would that make a difference?
You know, I'm thinking, Kevin, that's like asking 4 of my buddies to add a 5th guy to go out and they're all single. That means there's another guy I got to compete with. So maybe we don't have another set of eyes on the NBA game. Lots of physicality, lots of pushing and shoving. You may see more foul calling, which will slow down the tempo and the rhythm of the game. I'm not sure that's the best idea for the league.
So then adding the Secaucus and the extra eyes in New York to look at calls, I think that might take the place of adding the official.
I think the league has done a great job, Kevin, having Secaucus now have the ability to make some of those calls to help speed up what we do with regards to the replay.
The first free throw is good. Over the decades, the way the league has grown, phenomenal, due in no small part to the leadership. Brent, what are some of the key traits you've seen of these two great NBA commissioners?
I think the one thing about both David Stern and Adam Silver that they have done a great job with is that they're approachable. There doesn't seem to be a time, at least in an NBA player's career, where they don't feel like they could either call the office and within maybe a day or two hear from somebody from the league office. But the fact that both David Stern and Adam Silver find their way out to arenas throughout the regular season, come to see every team, that approachability, I think, far and away sets those two gentlemen aside.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrapper.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now. Now, here's Fournier. He's covered by Bazemore. It's stolen by Schroeder. And, oh, here we go. Prince has got it. The fast break chance. He gets it in there. Prince has got 8 points here in this quarter.
You love to see the resolve from an offensive player after a disappointing first half. He's been terrific here in the second.
Fournier passes to Vucevic. Oh, and here comes Prince all alone. Trips down the breakaway slam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
And the foul called on Terrence Ross. That's foul number 2 for him. The Hawks trail by 12. Schroeder dishes to Prince. Dedmon kicks it to Bazemore. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And going into last season, Kent Bazemore commanding a salary in excess of $17 million. Greg, how did an undrafted player coming off his first starting season in the league get that kind of salary?
Timing is everything. Reflection of the market. Well, you remember you had that huge spike in the cap. It's also a bet on his upside and work ethic. And with Bazemore, you see that the dedication to improve is there, and that's what made the Hawks comfortable with the contract.
Bazemore showing what every lefty has, and that's craftiness. Just uses his body very well and takes smart shots within the offense.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
Schroeder against Augustine. Right at the free throw line.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
And Ross with the slam.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Now Schroeder kicks it to Dedmon. Prince outside from deep. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Vucevic has got rebound number 13 with that last one. Here's Schroeder. Augustine grabs the board.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time he chose wisely. I think he wanted to shoot that ball, but you see your teammate wide open. Be a good teammate. Make the delivery.
The Hawks trail by 17. Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. Schroeder passes to Dedmon. Back to Schroeder. Will it go? And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
Lightning quick first step from Schroeder, and phenomenal at throwing down that one on the drive.
Schroeder against Augustine. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Nikola Vucevic.
And he's up over 50% from the field here tonight. And that speaks to how solid his shot selection has been. Nothing forced and really no bad decisions. Just good, smart, offensive basketball.
He'd finally had enough of their losing streak, and it's going to take something special to regain some kind of momentum. And his effort has been very special tonight.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Now, that's the attack mindset with which they entered the game with, and I wouldn't expect them to let up now.
Bazemore dishes to Schroeder. The Hawks again can't hit. And it's the Magic's ball. Stringing it together. They've got an 11-2 run going. And the jam by Ross.
It's contagious. Every guy on the team working to keep this streak alive.
It's so fun when you're rolling like this. You just want it to continue as long as possible. And right now, fingertips are ablaze.
They set the pick. Collins against Gordon. Back to Bazemore. 6 to shoot. With the shot, it's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got his 5th rebound in this one. Orlando leading by 21. Fournier with the ball. Ross for 3. He can't get that one to fall. Here's Prince, and a big-time jam right there.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Magic.
You know, their big advantage was points in the paint.
And they found a way to pound the ball inside. And that was working all game long.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Vucevic.
Well, a consistent intensity is what he brought to the floor here. He hit the glass hard, and he came up with a ton of rebounds.
Ross on the wing, guarded by Prince. No good from Ross. There's 47 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Bazemore misses. On offense, here are the Magic. They're on a 15-6 run. 3-pointer Augustine. Great D that time from Dennis Schroeder. Now here's Bazemore. He's tightly guarded and too long on the shot. 19 seconds left in the game. And Augustine kicks to Ross. Gordon a screen.
Ooh. Okay. That's how you attack. Wow. And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks a lot. Nick, how did you guys get this win tonight?
We were really good on defense, and then once we get stops, we're very good on offense. We got some easy ones, and we just kept grinding. We never let it back in the game, and it felt good to get this one tonight.
Great performance by you guys, Nick. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you later.